instructor, its founder, BKS Iyengar. And it is focused on the details of the poses, the alignment, the postures, and it emphasizes the use of props. So for today's practice, not only will you need your strap, blocks, and a bolster. You can see I actually have two options. I have my kind of blanket bolster, and then I have a more sturdy, actual created yoga bolster. A pillow would work for this. But you also need a wall. Okay, so you might need to pause and go find a space. And you're going to need about, let's see, this much room on a wall. And we're going to use this in multiple different ways, but it's going to help us with our alignment today. Now, if you're the kind of person who you're not a fan of like doing multiple sun salutations and the fast-paced yoga, Iyengar is for you. It will help with any kind of aches and pains that you're getting from yoga because it helps you get back into proper alignment and it doesn't rush you through the poses. So if you're detail-oriented and you don't like the full sun salutations, then this might be the practice that you love. We're going to stand up and do some breathing first. The one thing that is a little different about Iyengar is it's not quite as, flowy through. We do some standing, we go back to the ground, we go to the wall, all kinds of things. So just kind of be prepared to move around a little bit today and then be really still. Our breath is called the Uddiyana Bandha breath. The way that it's performed is a little different. It's great for things like stomach issues, constipation. However, if you have high blood pressure or glaucoma, maybe if you're pregnant, kind of not early on, it just depends on how the muscles feel engaging. It's not going to hurt the baby or anything. Then you might want to avoid it. But it is really good for abdominal strengthening and for any kind of stomach or GI issues. This is how you perform it. I like to get into a little bit of kind of a squat stance. It helps me. I inhale normally, and then I exhale, big exhale, hold the exhale. Holding my breath, I scoop the belly. I call it a false inhale. So I pull my belly up, then I relax my belly, then I inhale. I wonder if you could see this here. Let's see if we can see a little bit of it. So inhale, exhale, false inhale, relax, inhale. There you go. You saw a little bit of it. Kind of that pull, that tight, like you're pulling your belly up underneath your rib cage. And a lot of times, like just depending, I have a little more adipose tissue there, but you can sometimes see the ribs poke out, right? You're pulling everything up under. I can feel it. It's just not as visual. Let's try it together. Inhale. Exhale. Pull in. Relax the shoulders. Belly relaxes. Then we inhale. I'll guide you through another one. Exhale. False inhale. Relax the belly. Then inhale. The reason we do it that way is we don't want you to and relax the belly all at once. We want that to be controlled. Try 2 more on your own. Good. Go to the ground. I'm going to sit on my bolster here. You should sit on a bolster. I want you to be nice and high for this. And grab your blocks as well. I might have to go to the side for you to see this. Yeah, I'm going to have to at first. We're going to keep this same breath, but doing it a little bit differently. So feet together. You can sit in just an easy kind of crisscross applesauce pose, or if you want, you can bring the heels of the feet together. We're going to put a movement with our breathing, our Uddiyana Bandha. So as we inhale, hands on the blocks, close to the body, we're just going to lean back. Inhale. As we exhale, come forward. False inhale. Relax, then inhale as you bring the hands back. Add an extra little breath in there. You might need one too. Sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. And just go through this a couple times. And sometimes the question is, how long do I hold that bandha, that Uddiyana Bandha, that tightness through my belly? And the answer is really whatever helps you feel heat and warmth, but not overwhelm and panicky. Right? So you don't want to hold it so long that it's becoming problematic, but you do want a nice solid hold. Finishing this breath up, then hang on to your block or blocks. Let's put them to the side. Start with one, then we'll use another. And we're going to start with this block. Actually, we might just stick with this one block. We're going to put it in between our knees. We're going to squeeze. So working on a little bit of abdominal strengthening with the block here. You can keep your knees down or you can straighten the legs up. Hands are going to cradle your head. So it's not kind of like the traditional abs where your fingertips are at your temple. You're actually going to bring it behind your head. And you're going to, I'm probably really close to the mic, I apologize. You're going to squeeze your head with your temples. So what you're going to do here is exhale, pull the tailbone in a little bit. Flatten and broaden the lower back against the mat. Then exhale, pull up your upper body. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower body. Inhale. Exhale, upper body. Hold. Relax the upper body. You can bend the knees if you want. You're squeezing the block together with your knees, engaging from the knees up through the chest. Exhale, lower body. Pull that lower back against the mat. Exhale, curl, upper. Inhale. Exhale, curl lower. Inhale, hold. Exhale, curl upper. Lower. One more of these. Legs extend, arms come in, get ready. Exhale, lower body. Inhale, upper. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upper. And lower. Good. Now we're not moving, we're not going all the way to the ground. This is a little bit different. Legs are up. Exhale, lower back into the mat. Inhale and exhale, curl up. Inhale, grab the block with your right hand, hold it. Open and close the legs. Curl up. Lower head only. Exhale. Inhale. Open, close. Inhale and exhale. Two more. Keep those legs going. Keep that lower back into the mat. Inhale. Exhale up. Inhale, grab the block. Open, close. Inhale, curl up. And down. Last time. Inhale, keep the lower back in the mat. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, grab. Open, close. Inhale up. And lower. Lower the legs all the way. Keep the block between the knees. Hands down. I think when I said no sun salutations, some of you probably thought, oh, easier. different. Keeping the block between the knees, press that low back into the mat. From that tuck comes the bridge. Squeezing the knees together. Little prep. Squeeze, squeeze. Scoop the belly. Tuck the tailbone. Scoop the belly, tuck the tailbone. And then lowering down. Grab the block. Bridge on the block. Now you can put your hips on the high, the medium, so this will be high position, medium, low position. You're going to take this block and you're going underneath and you're resting on your sacrum. So you're resting on the block or whatever you have. It doesn't have to be a block. It can be anything that you have handy. From here, finding that bridge, scooping the belly a little bit, allowing yourself to accept the height, accept that push, accept the lengthening of the lower back. So something I see sometimes is people put this too far up and they're stuck kind of doing this back bend over. You want it down close to your tailbone so that you're starting to get this little line and lengthen across the top of the thighs. Start by lifting one leg, it doesn't matter which, straight to the sky. I just lost my windscreen to my mic. There we go. Might get a little noisy, sorry. And then we're going to take this foot and cross it across. So we have that openness for the hip. I'm going to show you another variation that you're welcome to take or not. But I find that it's not accessible to me except for when I use these props. One of the reasons I really like Iyengar. So you can stay here with that pigeon stretch, or you can find this foot and tuck it in very close to the block and let it release onto the mat. If you find a foot cramp, now this is the thing that used to prevent this pose for me. You can actually kind of come in here and pull along the toes and kind of release the cramp, push up into the heel, relax the foot. You can manipulate the foot in here, but try to relax the foot a little bit to get this full expression of this pose. Again, you don't have to do this. You can just stay in regular boat pose. You will probably, by the way, have your hands down here. I'm doing this so you can see what's going on. I just realized I'm probably teaching you something incorrect. You would have your hands down here. And then let's put that foot back. Good. Opposite leg up to the sky. One-legged boat. Feel how your chin and chest want to kind of cave in as you're up here. Try to think about lengthening your neck, rolling your shoulder blades under, lifting your chest, then crossing this foot over. Then we have yet another option here. You can stay here, or you can do the thing where you find the foot, pulling it in close to the block, and letting it release. And then releasing the foot, pressing hips up, releasing the block, and then we're rolling ever so slowly, starting at the shoulders, rolling all the way down to the ground, to the side, and up. Good. We're actually coming all the way to the wall. So let's go ahead and bring ourselves up into the wall. Now I'm going to come toward the wall, but what I'm doing is I'm placing my hands on the wall, and then I'm going to let myself walk back until I can lean into a full stretch. So that's what I would like for you to try to do today, is hold on to the wall, lean, and find a full stretch through the shoulders. Really breathe and release. Let yourself find the chest and turn toward you. Let yourself kind of dive the chest in between the shoulders. I find that in downward facing dog, one of the biggest errors is that we're letting our upper body stack over our arms and we're not opening up the shoulders. But now that we've done the bridge, kind of released the lower body, the abs, worked on engaging, we should find that we can release into this better. So let's come up now and let's go into, let's go down onto the mat now and find that same feeling in down dog. So if you want to, you can start by kneeling, bringing our hands out along the mat, and then we're going to press into down dog. Find that same feeling. From here, bending the knees, grabbing one block, stepping your right leg forward. The block is on the inside. Press through, lean into this. Heel toe your toe out so that it's pointing away. And then we're going to twist, pressing this hip down into the mat, looking back over our shoulder. Let me do this toward you so you can see what's happening. So I have the block here. I'm coming in just like a regular lunge, but then I'm going to heel toe, so I'm slightly turned out. Drop the hips through, press away. And I can let myself kind of lean down onto this. Opening through the hip, through the psoas, through the entire front of the body on that left side. Coming back to center, pressing back to down dog. Just feeling this pose. It's a common pose. We do it a lot. What we're finding is we can do it better by breaking down alignment and focusing on it. We can. Dropping the right knee, stepping the left foot in, block, holding under that right hand, dropping into the hips first, then heel toeing that left foot, and start to send the hip through more and rotate and look behind the body. And slowly unwind, pressing up, last time into down dog. And then walk your feet slowly to your hands, taking your time, heels down, and just see how our forward bend feels and what we have in us for a forward bend today. Bending the knees to come up when you're ready. We're going to move back to the wall. Take your block. In fact, take 2 blocks. We're going to start with just warrior 2. So if you want, you can put the blocks down here by the front foot. Start with warrior 2, bending the knees, kind of pull your heel. It's not going to touch the wall completely, but I want your body against the wall, arms out, head pressing against the wall, knee bend. Warrior 2. Think about what it takes to get your shoulders back on the wall. Now bring the middle of your back a little bit closer to the wall. I'm going to step away a little bit. Bring the middle of your back closer to the wall. Tuck the tailbone under a little bit to get to that point. Do you feel how some of you were probably touching bottom and maybe not even head, maybe head? Tuck the tailbone under and sink a little deeper to get to the point where your spine, where you're lining up against the wall, not completely flat against the wall, but upper, middle, and lower spine are against the wall. Press open with this knee. A little more intense, right? Then straightening this front leg, we're going to come into triangle without leaving the wall. What you can do here is behind that front foot, stack as much as you need to get your full triangle. Right? You can play with it. Pressing that back hip against the wall. Actually, I do want 2 of these today. That feels good. Raising the front hand, we can look up, out, or down, but our head stays against the wall. Good. Release the arm, bending the knee into the wall. Kind of reset a little bit. Let's go to the other side. So I'm going to take my blocks with me. I'm going to start with warrior 2. So think about getting those hips flat against the wall. Press that knee open toward the wall. It's not leaning in. You actually can see, if you watch the arch of my foot, look what happens when my knee leans in. Look how flat it gets. Look how active it is when my knee is pressing out. Isn't that cool? Lengthening the spine, press the shoulders, arms out. Warrior 2. When you're ready, straightening front leg, sliding forward, taking this down to triangle. Come on back here, blocks. Against the wall. Interesting, very different. My 2 sides are different. Yours probably are too. Keeping the hip against the wall, Shoulders against the wall, shoulder blade against the wall. In, bending the knees to come up. All right, one more thing here with the block. I would probably move one out of the way because it's best to have it in your hand for this. We're going into half moon. So for this, you're really just using the wall, again, for alignment. Your foot's a little bit away, but also to help you balance. So we need to lift your back leg and start to shift down until you can find the ground. Press your foot up against the wall and your arm against the wall into a half moon pose. And this might take some work. This might take some effort. This might take trying, but you can get there. Let yourself fall back against the wall. It can make this pose very accessible, something that we can do that we aren't normally able to do. Squaring a little bit toward this, bending the front knee to come up. And let's try the other side. All right, let's come into this. I like to kind of cartwheel down, opening the arm and leg, lengthening, using the wall for balance. Again, to come out of it, I like to square, kind of start bending the knees and come up. Good, use the wall. All right. One more thing on the wall. Actually, two more things on the wall. Using your strap. We're going to bring our foot into the strap, and you can lean back. So we're just leaning back against the wall. We don't need to do anything exact except lean back. I'll talk to you about some stuff more often or in a moment. And I want you to get both hands on as close to your foot as possible. Now, this might be as close to your foot as possible, that's fine. But as close to your foot as possible with a straight arm. So without bending your elbow. And then extend the leg straight, but keep the elbow straight as well. So we do not want to, let me show you the mistake that's made sometimes, pick it up. Because see, we have a bent elbow. We want arm straight and leg straight. So I like to bend the knee and then push into this. Now, pull the shoulder back until it's against the wall. So if you want to go a little higher, you can. Pull the shoulder back until it's against the wall. That's really all we have in this pose. You have some options if you want. Keeping the arms straight. Ooh. Start over, always. Just get back into it. You have the option here to open the leg out to the side. I don't usually do this against the wall. There we go. To open the leg out to the side. You have to use this hand. That's what the trick was. But you don't have to. You can keep it right here, keeping that shoulder against the wall. Bending, softening the hand to release. Good. When you're ready, other hand, other foot. Wherever you are. And again, if this is your straight arm, straight leg, that's fine. This is your hand to big toe pose. This is your hand to big toe pose. It doesn't matter. That's the beautiful thing of Iyengar. Listen to what does matter. Pull your shoulder against the wall. Let that shoulder blade on your other arm, the left arm for me, I don't know if I said sides, but your opposite side of last time, both shoulder blades, the tips of the shoulder blades are touching the walls. That's where the change occurs. Then if we need to, we can open to the side. If we do that, press this hip against the wall, the hip on the opposite side. Straightening the arm if we need to get the foot higher, help it out, get higher. Press the shoulder into the wall. Bending the knee, relaxing. There we go. Lowering that down. Now, I said one more pose against the wall. No props needed. It's kind of a warm-up for our next pose. We're going to face the wall, and you are going to go into camel with your hands in your back pockets. So hands in your back pockets, your hips pushing against the wall. So let me show you what I mean. Pushing my hips against the wall, hands in my back pockets, push, lift the chest, lean back as far as I can go without leaving the wall. So I'm really pressing against the wall, and I'm not allowing that hinge back. Shoulders roll back and down, lifting the chest. We remind ourselves, we actually physically push with our hands, kind of lengthening the sacrum and the tailbone, turning it down toward the sky or the ground instead of here. Very subtle shift down for camel. And then we have kind of our final posture here. You don't have to walk on your knees, I am. We're going to find full camel on the mat. Now, you can absolutely do what you just did. Think about that wall there where your hips are touching. You can also take your blocks and you can start to find a full camel, reaching onto those blocks. And actually, I'm not even going into a full camel today. That doesn't even feel good to me at all on my back. So I'm not even going to use the blocks. I'm just going to find camel out in space. Now, if you are the point where your lower back maybe isn't giving you a hard time today, or you have camel as part of your practice, you can find the blocks. You can even find your heels, lifting the chest up. You just don't want to lean into it. And that's what the wall was teaching us today, is not to lean into camel. So go ahead and stay there in your fullest expression of camel for 5 big deep breaths. And that's kind of the peak moment of practice today. Now we're not done. For our relaxation, we are going to go in, we're using the wall again, and we're actually doing legs up the wall, and then we're putting our back against the wall. So keep a bolster close. You don't really need anything else. You might want a bolster under your hips to go up to the wall, as long as your back is coming in contact with the ground. And probably more of a blanket, something flat like this. Spread out, maybe up toward the wall, but you don't have to have that. To go into legs up the wall though, we kind of side straddle in, lower down, and then start to walk our feet up to the wall. Now we're going to do a couple different things here. Or actually, I'll just show you here, and then you can decide how you want to use them. We're going to use legs up the wall, let our eyes close, and find a meditation here. We're also going to use, we can go into, if we want, more of a leg straddle against the wall. And then you can also do Baddha Konasana, or bound angle, here against the wall. And you can just decide what you need throughout this moment of relaxation. We will be rolling to the side and finishing seated against the wall. So we're not going to finish with legs at the wall. We're going to finish with the seated meditation if you want to bring your bolster close. So from here, allow your eyes to close. And I just want you to think about transferring this energy from your feet all the way up to your head. So this is the beautiful thing about what inversions can do for us, is they can shift our perspective. seeing the world upside down. Now I know we're laying on our mat, we're not truly upside down. Even something as simple as downward dog, if inversions are a place where you feel panicky or a place where you feel as if you're out of control, think about what's happening in your daily life. Do you need some unexpected, or maybe you have too much unexpected in your life? Think about why it might be, and might not be purely the pose itself. Now, the cool thing is, by doing the pose and by mastering the pose, which is one reason why the Iyengar method is so particular about alignment, by mastering the pose, we can get to a place where the pose itself is helping us shift our perspective, helping us with those moments in daily life. And allow this legs up shift to offer pure and total relaxation. Listening to your body. If you need to change the position of the feet, you can. I'm going to be here for just a few more moments. But if you need to exit legs up the wall early, just roll onto your left side into a fetal position, curling your knees to your chest. Then when you're ready, just kind of slowly roll to your left side. Then we're going to push ourselves up. Take your time. Using a bolster or a blanket. Something fairly high. Sitting on our bolster against the wall. So letting ourselves press our back against the wall, our head against the wall, our sacrum against the wall, shoulder blades. Just an easy seated meditative position. And you can choose if you'd like to put your palms up on your thighs or your palms down. Usually it's kind of whatever we feel in the mood for that day. However, it's important to note that palms up usually means we're receiving, we're receptive, we need this, right? Like we need some more energy, or we need some wisdom, something we still need. And when we put our palms down, it can signal that we need to sit with ourselves for a moment. Maybe it's overwhelm. Maybe we've just had like enough going on. And this doesn't mean that something will change with the way that you are treated with palms up and down. It just means that your body will know what to do with this next little meditative piece. So with ourselves, pressing our head against the wall, sitting up nice and tall, feeling supported, eyes closed. I want you to define what it is you really need right now. What do you need more of? We don't want to focus on what we need less of, because our brain's just going to hear it and help us find it. Maybe we need more time. Maybe we need more energy. Maybe we need more wisdom. Maybe we need discernment. Maybe we need stillness. Maybe we need quiet. Maybe we need courage. What is it that you really need right now? And allow yourself to inhale and exhale and open your eyes. I don't know about you, but after an Iyengar practice, I feel very strong and centered, long, tall. I feel like I have that core energy back again. So I hope you enjoyed this practice. Thank you for practicing Iyengar Yoga with me today.